Listen up, folks. Time could be running out to lock in a historic yield at Public.com. As of September 23rd, 2024, you can lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account. But here's the thing. The Federal Reserve just announced a big rate cut, and the plan is for more rate cuts this year and in 2025 as well. That's good news if you're looking to buy a home, but it might not be so good for the interest you earn on your cash. So, if you want to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment-grade bonds, you might want to act fast. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at Public.com. And once you lock in your yield, you can earn regular interest payments even as rates decline. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at Public.com. But hurry, your yield is not locked in until you invest. Brought to you by Public Investing, member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit Public.com/disclosures for more info.
Welcome back. It's a brand new episode. This is Laugh With Me, a podcast with Jeremy Odem. I'm your host, J.O. Oh, man. What a freaking day. You ever have one of those days? It's like the day after the biggest election of your lifetime. I mean, we have the biggest election of our lifetime every 4 years, but this was the most latest one. Man, the day after something, huh? Oh, if you thought it was exciting heading into it, try living the day after. You got half the people are excited because their candidate won. You got the half of the people that lost, just being like, yep, that's world's over. And then you got the other half so angry, so angry, as if there was no possible chance their candidate could lose. And they're just in complete disbelief. I mean, there was always a 50-50 shot at this thing, right? Like there was either you're gonna have a winner, or you're gonna be a loser. Like there was always a 50-50 shot in this thing. There was always a chance that your candidate was going to lose. That's just the facts. That's it. That's the way it's always been. You have to mentally prepare yourself for this. I would challenge you, those folks that are living it right now, who are just so upset that their candidate lost, and they're just in complete disbelief, and they're so mad about it. Try being a Los Angeles Chargers fan for a little bit. Try getting, some of the best teams in the history of the NFL on the field. Okay? Marty Schottenheimer, and you're laughing at me. No, you've never had a Chargers team. There's been one. No. Marty Schottenheimer's San Diego Chargers went 14-2, okay? Home game against the Patriots, and this wasn't the Patriots of legend, okay? This was at the beginning of all that. This is not Tom Brady's unstoppable Patriots. This was on the very, very early days of the Brady Patriots. And they upset us, and then then you lose your coach fired. Like, that was an all-time team. And then sometimes you just have good teams. Like, you just have a really good team that could compete all the time. You have the NFL's best offense, the NFL's best defense on the same team in the same year. Are you kidding me? That doesn't ever happen. But the Chargers had it. Didn't even make the playoffs. Like, try rooting for a team so hard, giving it everything, to the point that you put the logo tattooed on your skin. And then they break your heart every time. Okay, that's kind of how it feels today with some folks, that cheered on blue. It's tough, man. It's real tough. It's like some of those folks, they're getting real excited. And I know it's personal, right? Like, you're literally voting for things that could help or benefit your life. You're also possibly voting for somebody that is the, complete opposite of the other candidate, which maybe believes in things that would negatively impact your life or your loved ones. Like, I understand that. I know it's personal. I feel the same way. That's why I voted the way I did. But what I'm saying is, this whole thing's a game. They ran the best campaign. One side, the winning side, ran the best campaign. So the losing side now, day one, post, has to look at it and say, okay, what did we do wrong? What did they do right? Because they spoke to the people in record numbers. And, it could go the other way in 4 years, but it has to be one of those things where you speak to the people and you connect with the people. And unfortunately, those of you that voted blue, that wasn't the case this time. It's interesting. And we're not... it's a comedy podcast. We're sitting here, and I'm not going to get very political, but it's very interesting. I'm very, intrigued by the whole process, just because I've always thought it was very interesting in America here, where it's like we have these people that are put in front of us and they're like, well, I am the leader for you, and then we get to vote on whether or not that's the leader. But sometimes, most of the time, we don't have much choice in who those people are, and that was the case this time, right? If you're somebody who was back in the blue, you had the candidate, which was the incumbent president, the president of the United States, and then he put out one of the all-time worst performances in that first debate. That it had them scrambling and being like, you know what, this ain't it. And it's true. That had them shaking in their boots. So then you go to plan B, which maybe was plan A all along. I don't know. It's very interesting. It would probably be in their best case, the best case scenario now for the blue to really dig deep into not just the candidate, not just the people that you're putting out there, to run as the leader, but also how they're doing it and what's the approach, what are they talking about, and why are they talking about it. It was interesting too that the Trump campaign ran on, doing podcasts. The new media swung the vote this time. That was interesting. That is only going to become more and more a part of the process in 2 to 4 years. I mean, it just is. So, look for more of that. I can't wait until we have our first person running for office of any level to come on Laugh With Me. That's going to be that's going to be something. Something I'm really excited about. Oh, before I get into that, because it is that is very important. But I want to say this to the people who were very upset today, very upset that your side lost. This is what I would like to see out of that, folks, for that team, for the blue side. Use that energy, use that anger, and channel it into change. Channel it into ideas, channel it into the energy and the work and the connections and the networking in order to make change for the better of everybody that believes your way, that wants to see your policies in place. That's what I'd like to see. Less of the name-calling and finger-pointing, and more of getting involved and using that energy for good. How about that, huh? Yeah. What do you think, Johnny? That's the thing. Johnny, I know what way Johnny voted. That dude's happy today. Johnny, you're lucky I let you in the door. Let's just say that. Well, a lot of people, too, are excited that the election's over because, the political commercials are ending. And I get it. They are obnoxious. They're nonstop. They're just running all over the place. Every candidate has them, right? And it's both sides. It's, vote for me. It's no, don't vote for that guy. It's all that, right? But I don't understand getting too excited about that. I mean, what are you going to get in its place? I know you're not going to get, why you shouldn't vote for Donald Trump commercials anymore. Okay? I get that. But what are you going to get in its place? Another Burger King jingle? Is that what you want? Because all you're going to do is in a month and a half, be pissed that you can't stop singing the Burger King jingle. Whopper, Whopper, Whopper. That song's been going on for 2 years now. And They're gonna milk it as long as they can, and then it's time for the next one. And we're gonna get a next one. Like that is 100% the case. Do you want that? Is that what you really want on TV nonstop? Is more Burger King jingles to get lodged in your forehead? How about more drug commercials, huh? I'm sick of those people. Sick of them. You know why? Because I'm at the point in my life where I'm actually using the drugs that they're having on the commercials. And I tell you what, I'm not that happy. I am not nearly as happy as those folks are on television. It's a bunch of bullshit. Is that what you want? You want more drug commercials? At least with the political ads, half of them were speaking to me. You know, at least half of them I could be like, yeah, you're right. Go get them. You know? I'm not cheering for the damn Whopper. Unless, BK, you want to sponsor on Laugh With Me. In that case, buddy, I will be chomping on them. Rodeo cheeseburgers. That's what they need. They need to bring back a promo campaign for the rodeo cheeseburger. That thing it's a hidden gem that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. It just sits there on their little dollar menu a la carte thing. And it just, and you know what? It's not even advertised as a rodeo cheeseburger. It's rodeo burger. If you say the cheese, then they're going to charge you more. I love the rodeo cheeseburger.
Early holiday savings have arrived at Tanger Outlets. Discover the best gifts from your favorite brands, perfect for everyone on your list. And stack your savings with up to 70% off, plus an extra 15 to 25% off only during Tanger Style. Save at Polo Ralph Lauren, Old Navy Outlet, Under Armour, Skechers, J. Crew Factory, and more. Hurry in. These early holiday deals last through November 24th. Tanger Outlets. More savings, more cheer.
Listen up, folks. Time could be running out to lock in a historic yield at Public.com. As of September 23rd, 2024, you can lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account. But here's the thing. The Federal Reserve just announced a big rate cut, and the plan is for more rate cuts this year and in 2025 as well. That's good news if you're looking to buy a home, but it might not be so good for the interest you earn on your cash. So, if you want to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment-grade bonds, you might want to act fast. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at Public.com. And once you lock in your yield, you can earn regular interest payments even as rates decline. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at Public.com. But hurry, your yield is not locked in until you invest. Brought to you by Public Investing, member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit Public.com/disclosures for more info.
Anyways. Yeah, it was fun. You know, I had to vote early because my daughter had a choir concert on the night of the election, and then, you know, you worked during the day, so it's just like, well, I got to make sure, you know, my voice is heard and I get my vote counted. So it was like, I'll go wait 2 hours to do that, but then I go to the concert. Concert's fun. Okay, I'm going to put that out there right now. Yes, I'm happy I attended the choir concert. Here's the thing, though, like they're fun in theory, right? Because you're excited, and you know the kids that get all dressed up, and they're like, oh yeah, you can't wait till you hear this song, and the song's like whippity da 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 whippity da, and then the boys are like and it's awesome, right? They're speaking other languages, and it's like I didn't even know you could speak 3 languages, but they can in the song anyway. That's fun. That's exciting. And it's fun to talk about after for a few minutes. And then it's like you never hear those songs ever again. Unless, you know, you get one of those concerts where the fellas in the choir get to sing Journey's Don't Stop Believin'. And in my humble opinion, every single school, every single choir concert should have children singing Don't Stop Believing. But they shouldn't do it the same way. That's what will make it interesting, is if they do it different ways. Like this time, it was just the fellas. But it is cool sometimes when you can mix the fellas with the ladies singing it. Like, that's cool too. There's different ways to arrange that. I definitely feel like that's a song that should be performed at every single choir concert across the United States. I think that would help bring the energy up just a little bit. But here's the other thing. There's, you walk in, it's like, all right, where do we want to sit? My daughter's like, yeah, I'm going to be over here. I'm going to be on the left side. It's like, okay, on the left side. But then sometimes she's gotten really good about it now, because now she's actually performed on stage in a few very things. She's been on the show. Johnny, Hattie's been on the show. She's great. In fact, she was just saying, hey, when am I going to get back on? I've been on in season 2. And it's like, yeah, we got to have you back on sometime. So she understands it now. But when she first was performing on stage, she's like, I'm on the left side. When she was actually the right side, it was stage left. It's like, you got it all wrong. But she understands it now. She tells us exactly where she's going to be, so we can sit there. Well, we're like, all right, well, yeah, we want to get like kind of elevated. They have the folding chairs down in the middle of the gym, and then you got the bleachers out. It's like, yeah, but we want to sit in the bleachers so we're elevated. We can see her, right? We want to see her sing. Till we're sitting there, after a minute of sitting there, my back is dying. That's probably part of my pain today, not the damn election last night. It was probably my back's killing me from the sitting in the bleachers. It's awful. Just awful. I don't remember being that bad when I was in school, when I was in middle school, high school. I just sit in the bleachers was badass. Like, that's what we did. Yeah, I can't do it. If they made us sit on the floor, like let's say there was a shortage of folding chairs, like there's some big wrestling convention down the street and they took all the chairs or something, or maybe the Buffalo Bills were in town, so there was like no chairs, and it's like we had to sit on the floor. Oh, I would still be there the next day. Like, I would need help up for sure. And I know you oldies listening are feeling the exact same way. So the concert's fun. I do enjoy it. I love the people watching as well. You see the different types of parents out there, and some are excited. Some I don't even know that they know they were there, but they were there. Here's one thing though. All right, so on one side, I'm saying Don't Stop Believin' should be performed at every single concert. On the flip side, if the performance isn't worthy, we're not going to do standing ovations. Like, I've been to some where we did standing ovations, and I was so hesitant. It wasn't standing ovation worthy. I'll be honest with you. Like, come on. The kids did great, but this is not worthy of a standing ovation. And I think we all parents should be honest with ourselves about this. Like, was it deserving of a standing ovation? Some of them are really good. Okay, they are really good. I'll applaud. I applaud after every single thing that happens, whether it's a speaker, whether it's a solo, whether it's just a song, some kind of performance. The show choir performed. They did their thing. I'm clapping. In fact, I promise you, I am the last person clapping every single time. Like, I clap the entirety of this thing. It doesn't deserve standing ovation. That's all. That's all I'm saying. What do you think? I mean, Johnny, I know you don't have kids, but I know you have like nieces and nephews. You go to these things, and it's just insane to think that these kids they're going to grow up thinking everything that they do deserves a standing ovation, which is just not the facts. I'm still waiting for my first standing ovation after one of my comedy shows. I get laughs, I get applause, I get people screaming, yeah, thong song. Yeah. But no, hey, J.O., do the thong song. I'm like, yeah, I'll do the thong song. And it's like, but not once have I gotten a standing ovation. And that's probably because I haven't earned it. The day I earn it, though, it's going to feel damn good. I feel like this episode I've been kind of just not complaining, but just kind of like getting some things out there. There's one more thing. I got to get this off my chest. People magazine named their sexiest podcast hosts of 2024, and, you know, the Kelsey brothers won that. And they have a wildly successful podcast. I can't imagine why, but they have a wildly successful podcast. And, you know, both good-looking guys in their own right. But sexiest podcast host, I wasn't even a finalist. I wasn't even a nominee. I don't know if you've seen some of those pictures I've been putting out on socials. I need more people talking about it. Like, oh, look at that guy. Look at the red hair. You know, look at that guy's got that thing on him. You know, J.O. got that thing on him. Get more people talking. You know, then maybe 2025 could be a big year. You know, I could get nominated for People Magazine Sexiest Podcast Host, and maybe Rolling Stone. I'm just spitballing now, just throwing out ideas. But people have to people got to start talking. You know, I can't do all the talking for us. If we're all gonna make this happen for me, you know, Johnny. Oh, you as well, brother. You as well. Yeah, this is what a day. The day after the election. Well, it's here's the thing. It'll get better, and everybody will be just fine, and we'll live to tell our tale until the next time. And if you don't agree, put the energy in. Get out there. Do something about it. But let's do it in a positive way so that we can make a difference. That would be my advice. So, thanks for listening. Laugh With Me podcast. We have the Bottom 5 podcast as well, Johnny. The Bottom 5 podcast where we give you the reverse power ranking. So it's the 5 worst teams in the NFL every single week. That show is actually starting to catch some traction. We were like the 53rd or 58th like most popular podcast in France. It's insane. People were going to my Bottom 5 podcast to get their NFL coverage a couple weeks ago. So let that sit in. It's incredible. Check it out. Anywhere that you find this podcast, you can find the Bottom 5 podcast, and maybe you get a shout out from about your team. You know, I'd say if you're a Patriots fan or a Browns fan or I almost choked trying to say the Cowboys. Much like anything they're doing on offense this year, the Cowboys, what a freaking train wreck. Well, anyway, check out the Bottom 5 to hear me talking about that. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Devin Whitmire. People from South Carolina, like myself, are proud of their state, but even we don't know every nook and cranny or every piece of culture or history. To explore places that are off the beaten path, you have to talk to the people there, because their stories, their ideas make everything come together. From Discover South Carolina, it's the Palmetto Porch. To learn more, visit scpalmettoporch.com.
Listen up, folks. Time could be running out to lock in a historic yield at Public.com. As of September 23rd, 2024, you can lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account. But here's the thing. The Federal Reserve just announced a big rate cut, and the plan is for more rate cuts this year and in 2025 as well. That's good news if you're looking to buy a home, but it might not be so good for the interest you earn on your cash. So, if you want to lock in a 6% or higher yield with a diversified portfolio of high yield and investment grade bonds, you might want to act fast. The good news? It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up at public.com. And once you lock in your yield, you can earn regular interest payments even as rates decline. Lock in a 6% or higher yield with a bond account at public.com. But hurry, your yield is not locked in until you invest. Brought to you by Public Investing, member FINRA and SIPC. Yield to worst is not guaranteed. Not an investment recommendation. All investing involves risk. Visit public.com/disclosures for more info.